Yeah. Uh, yes. Come back. Now, third transaction. Now, before we go for the things, my dear friends. So here as a commission. Now, take example. Take example. Total sales. Take example. Total sales 1,50,000. Total sales 1,50,000. Total sales. Total sales 1,50,000. 1,50,000. So credit sale, credit sale, credit sale 60% of total sales, total sales, total sales. Now commission, commission at 10%, Del Credar commission at 3% over trading commission at 2%. Overriding commission at 2%. Now calculate the total commission. Calculate the total commission. Calculate the total commission. Yes. So calculate and I will allow people to speak. So you have to say what is that commission. You have to say what is that commission. I will ask voluntarily. So whomsoever might be, you have to say what is your calculation split. Total commission. Calculate odd commission, del credit commission, overriding commission. How it will be. Yeah. If you would have done, respond in a group. Yes, let us see who has done. If you would have completed, respond in a group. Yeah, done. So Jhalak, very nice, Jhalak. Jhalak, Sneha. Okay, let us ask those who completed. Yes, Jhalak, can you speak? Jhalak, can you speak? Jhalak Lunia? Jhalak, can you speak? Jhalak, can you speak? Sorry. Sneha, can you speak?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, who is this? Sneha or Jhalak?
Sneha, sir.
Okay.
So
Uh,
Jhalak here as well.
Jhalak, can you speak?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir, yes.
Can you tell me what is the commission, ma'am?
Ordinary commission is 15,000.
Wait,
Dell
wait, wait,
commission
wait,
is
wait, wait.
2007.
Wait, ma'am. One on one. I will write to you. So
Okay.
yes, as what you computed, just let me show your computation. Yes, ordinary commission. Ordinary commission. How much? 1 lakh
15,000, sir.
50,000 into 10%, which amounts to
10%.
which amounts to
15,000.
15,000. Okay.
15,000.
Then Delcredit commission.
Dell Kedar commission is 2,700.
How?
3% of 90,000. 90,000 is nothing but 60% of total sales.
Into 60%. So which is 90,000 into 3%, which amounts to
2,700.
2,700. Okay. Overriding commission.
Overriding commission is 3,000.
3,000. How?
2% of 1 lakh 50.
On 1 lakh 50. 1 lakh 50,000 into
Yes,
2%, which is 3,000.
2%.
Therefore, total
Yes. Total is 1 minute, sir. 18,000, 20,700.
total. Yeah. So any other answer? Any other answer for others?
Our overriding commission cannot be given because we don't know the cost price and sale
Yes,
price.
sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Overriding commission. So other student is saying other alternative. This is alternate one. So alternative two, they are saying ordinary commission is correct. 1 lakh, sorry, 15,000 is correct. Delcredit commission is also correct, 2,700. But they are saying overriding commission is nil. It is not to be given. Any other alternative? Any other alternative? So friend, if you have alternative answer, please respond in a group, so that if you respond in a group, I will allow you to speak. I will allow you to speak. So if you have any other answer, answer to say, just to say, so that at least I will go back and I will allow you to speak. That respective student, because in a group I can't go and say, scroll who is there and all. So if you have different answer, I will allow you to speak. Yeah, just you say I am, that is sufficient. I will allow you to speak. I want that name to appear in a group, so that is sufficient. Yeah, at least if you raise your hand, at least that also I can do. That also you people will not. How much effort should I take here to interact with you? If you have any other answer, so Muhammadi Muskan. Yes, Muhammadi Muskan.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, ma.
Ordinary commission is on total sales, no sir. So 1,50,000 plus 90,000 into 10%.
Huh? 1,50,000 into 90,000. Ordinary commission.
1,50,000 plus 90,000 into 10%.
Why 90,000? I said it is a total sales itself 1,50,000. No. Out of
Okay,
this,
okay.
60% is credit. Balance 40% is cash.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
understanding of
it
question is
was not
not
an
ruled out. Next. Next, any other student? Anyone? Anyone? If you know the answer or if you have a different answer, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, so both the answers are wrong. Both the answers are wrong. Yeah, now look out. So that is what the key, my dear friends. Look out. What is this note for? Yeah, look out, note 1. What is the note 1? Unless otherwise specifies, all commission is to be payable on total sales only. Unless otherwise specifies means specifically if it is said, then only I have to give on such a sales. Otherwise, all the commission has to be payable on total sales only. That means, look out, if it is in a problem, clearly if it is given, delicate or commission is to be payable on credit sales affected by consignee. That word clearly if it is there, then only you have to calculate that on credit sales. Yeah, so if nothing said, just delicate commission, they have said. Just delicate commission, they have said 3%. Correct? So they have not mentioned on what. Therefore, information is not specified properly. Yeah, delicate commission is to promote credit sale. Therefore, credit sales they have made. That's what they have said. But it doesn't mean that on that only it has been agreed. Usually, if it is clearly given on credit sales, it has to be given. Then I will calculate on credit sales only. Usually on credit sales only. If information is not specifically given, then I have to calculate all commission on total sales only. Total sales only. So that is either splitwise you show or other way 1,50,000 into 10 plus 3 plus 2, 15%. 15%, which amounts to 22,500. 22,500. So computation, ordinary commission, which is that is correct on total sales 15,000. Del credit commission is also here, it is not on 60%, it is also 1,50,000 into 3%. Next 1,50,000 into 2%, because overriding commission they have not specified, therefore all the commission we have to pay on total. So therefore this amounts to 15 into 3, it is 4,500. So in total it is 22,500 is the answer. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So don't say, sir, in a theory you have said del credit commission is to be payable on credit sales. Correct? So I haven't said that. Look out clearly. I have given this commission is to be calculated on credit sales affected by consignee only if specifically given in a problem. That word is I have attached. Correct? Otherwise this will take over. Unless otherwise specify, all commission is to be payable on total sales. Are you understanding slowly? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Next, come to the adjustment number 3 or special transaction 3. Special transaction 3. Special transaction 3. Special transaction 3. Valuation of stock. Special transaction 3. Valuation of stock. Valuation of stock. So within bracket, revised priced after normal loss. Within bracket, that is, if normal loss is there, first we have to adjust the price. That is, we have to recompute what is the per unit price. We have to recompute what is the per unit price. So after that, after revision, whatever that price is there, that price has to be taken for the purpose of calculation. That's what we have discussed in special transaction number 1, loss of stock already. Now, Yeah, so divide it into two parts. Divide it into two parts. First part, valuation of closing stock. First part, valuation of closing stock. Second part, valuation of abnormal stock. Valuation of abnormal stock. Valuation of abnormal stock. Yeah. Now, whenever you touch the stock, my dear friend, I said the point of purchase, from a point of purchase till a point of sale is your direct expenditure. Yeah. So therefore, up to goods reached to consignee end, whatever the expenditure we have incurred, everything will be taken care. Everything will be considered as a direct expense only. Everything will be, sir. What is the doubt, Kiran Joseph? Sir, if they haven't specified anything, we should consider only original commission. Yes. So why we are even adding other to commission? So here they have clearly given no. They have given nothing specified, means they have just said commission 5%. Commission 5%. That means what type of commission, if they have not mentioned, then only I said it is assume it as an ordinary commission. Assume it as ordinary commission. But here they clearly given it is a del credit commission is this much, overriding commission is this much. So it is specified. It is specified. So my here, unless otherwise specified, means del credit commission is to be given on credit sale effected. That word clearly not there. Del credit commission is I will give, but I don't know how they have agreed, whether it is on total sale or only on credit sale. If clearly given, I would have calculated on credit sale. This commission is given to promote credit sale. Yeah, but it is not to be calculated always on credit sale. If the problem clearly given, then calculate on credit sale. Otherwise, this commission also to be calculated on total sale. Like same overriding commission. Overriding commission is to promote additional sale. If clearly given, then calculate on additional sale. Otherwise, that also on total sale. Got it? Yeah. So always my concepts are clear, my dear friends. I'm a man with concepts, not with number. Concept is clear. Mathematically, number, if you made a mistake, that is up to you. That's not my mistake. Oh. Concept is mistake means that I will take responsibility. Number is mistake means that is your problem. Yeah. Come. So now, whenever you touch the stock, my dear friends, stock valuation in case of consignment, this is the key area, and it is mandatory in case of consignment. Always closing stock adjustment will come. Whenever you touch stock, if you valuation of stock, if you touch, you have to include three components. One is what is value of cost in stock or abnormal loss, whatever it may be. What is the value of that? What is the stock of that cost at cent price? Because we sent the goods and we are valuing at the consignee end. That means consignee, what he says that this is the value of stock I have. This is the value of stock I have that I am valuing. Correct? That means at what price I sent the stock, at that price first I have to take. That's what my total cost, what I spent. If it is sent at cost price you have to take. If it is invoice price, at invoice price you're supposed to take. Got it? Now, if it is at cost price means normal valuation. If it is sent at invoice price is what we call it as loading unrealized profit. Correct? Whenever there is a invoice price is there, immediately loading has to be reversed. That when we go for general entry and all, we will understand. But as of now, let us go. Valuation of stock. Whenever you touch valuation of stock, that's a stock in case of consignment, whatever, wherever it might be. If you touch stock valuation, what is the value of goods lost or what is the value of stock, etc. If you touch, you have to include three components. One is value of goods at sent price. At what price you sent, at that price. That is what goods you lost or what goods in hand is there. For that valuation, you will do that goods value at what value you sent, at that price first you take. Correct? Plus direct expenses of consignor plus direct expense, proportionate direct expenses of consignee we supposed to take. Yeah, so this proportionate we have to add. Reason, because look out, from consignor place I have to send that goods for the sale at consignee. That means till reaching to consignee place it is a direct expense only. Once goods are received, goods are reached there, thereafter to store that goods, go down rent, rental, insurance at the consignee, whatever he takes, everything is the indirect expenses. Are you understanding slowly? Yeah, hope you got the idea. Yeah, write down. Valuation of closing stock. closing stock, valuation of closing stock at consignee, valuation of closing stock. Second part is abnormal loss of stock, valuation of abnormal loss of stock. Yeah, valuation of closing stock. So in the first part, drop an arrow, computation. Drop an arrow, show computation. Computation. So under that computation, first it is value of closing stock at cent price. Value of closing stock at cent price, within bracket, under that cost or invoice price. At what price you sent, at that price you have to value. Cost or invoice price. Yeah, so invoice price consists of cost plus profit, just for your information, that let us do it later. For the time being here, it is cent price, either cost or invoice price. Amount is XXX. It is like computation, that's why it is a particular amount, like that it is we are showing here. Next, add proportionate direct expenses of consignor. Add proportionate direct expense of consignor, XXX, amount column XXX. Next, add proportionate direct expenses of consignee. Only direct expense. Sir, what about indirect expense? That is an expense will come in consignment account. That is in a P&L we will charge. But for the purpose of valuation of stock, so indirect expenses should not be taken. Only direct expense we have to take. Direct expenses of both the parties if they have incurred. Direct expenses of both the parties if they have incurred. Yeah. So that's it. Total valuation of that is a value of stock at cent price. Value of stock at cent price. Value of stock at cent price. So total column XXX. Yeah. So under that write down. Under that write down. Under this write down. Note. If goods are sent at invoice price, then loading, that is profit or URP has to be reversed. Has to be reversed. Full stop. Continue. On closing stock, loading or unrealized profit. URP means unrealized profit. URP means unrealized profit. Loading is termed as stock reserve. Loading is termed as stock reserve. Loading is termed as stock reserve. Loading as stock reserve. So stock means on stock what you have reserved. What you have reserved to earn. That means it is nothing but profit. So if you would have sold, my dear friend, it is realized profit. For example, 100 rupees the cost, and for example 50 rupees you have added the profit. So this is what we call it as a reserve. So reserve means reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus means it's a profit. Correct? So therefore now sale price is 150. If this would you would have sold, then this profit would have been realized. This profit would have been realized. Suppose if it is not sold and it is remained in stock. Remained in stock. If consignee says is it 150 rupees worth of stock is there, then you know in your book it is cost is 100. Cost is 100 because as per AS2 inventory valuation, stock should be valued at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. Correct? So here NRV means net realizable value. So for a time being here, let us assume it as a market price. So market price is 150, cost is 100. At what price I supposed to value? Whichever is lower. That means I have to value at 100 rupee. So therefore, even though stock you are saying 150, out of that, in order to value the stock at right price, because now if you include at 150, automatically your profit will show 50 rupees as a gross profit, which is not at all sold. How you can recognize the profit? Correct? Therefore, that profit which it is not sold, that is on closing stock which you have added, that you have to remove. Otherwise, your profit will be overstated. So which is wrong. Therefore, AS2 says stock should be valued at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. So therefore, that profit minus rupees I have to remove. But on closing stock, that loading is called as stock reserve. Stock reserve. Yeah, but when goods sent this and all, I will say, so it has been sent at invoice price, immediately loading has to be reversed. Loading, that's all I will say. But on closing stock, the profit element, what we call it as, with a different name called stock reserve, but it is nothing but profit element only. Profit element only. Profit element only. Yeah. Now, sir, sir, what is this proportionate? Here, the key word is proportionate, my dear friends. Proportionate direct expense. Proportionate direct expense. Yeah. Now, so any student, can you join for the conversation? Any student, those who are willing, can you join for conversation? For the understanding. So, Muhammad Muskan. So, you have raised the hand to join the conversation, or simply for last? Yeah. Muhammad Muskan, can you hear me? Aditya?
ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Yes. Now, so look out. If the consignor, just imagine. So here, valuation of closing stock. Closing stock means, my dear friends, it is what are the number of units in stock for that valuation. For that valuation, we have to do. So now let us see here. So whenever you touch the stock, which are the three elements we have to take? Aditya? Number one.
ಸರ್
Number one.
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್.
Line ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್?
ಸರ್ ಇದೀನಿ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಏನಕ್ಕೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Yeah. So now, whenever you touch the stock, which are the three elements you have to include in evaluation of stock?
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು.
ಓಕೆ. ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Yeah. Can you join with any other students, my dear friends? Yeah, Alina, can you join?
ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Yeah, Alina. So then, who is there? Preksha. Yes. Alina and Preksha, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, just imagine, ma. Now, the goods as a consignor, I sent 1,000 units. 1,000 units I sent in a transport. And consignee from there, he will take over to his premise. Now, here I sent 1,000 unit. Now what happened here? 1000 units at 5 rupees per unit is the cost. I purchased it per unit and I sent at cost only. Cost only. I sent at cost. If it is invoice price means at invoice price I have to calculate. But here let us assume for the cost. And I spent direct expenses, freight, etc. Freight, insurance for the vehicle, etc. So for this I have spent 800 rupees. 800 rupees. Who has spent?
Consignor.
Consignor has spent. Now goods are going in a truck. So now here it has been reached. Now here imagine. So out of 1000 unit, 50 units was lost. 50 units was lost. So how many units consigned would have been taken?
50, sir.
So 950 units he has taken, and from there he has taken one more lorry, and from there he has taken that to his premises. Got it? Now let us go. So now here how many units he received? 950. Correct? Out of that
950.
imagine sold is 850 units. 850 units is sold. That means what is the closing stock?
850. 100, sir.
100 units. Correct? So now for this units, what is the value? What is the value? That's what valuation of closing stock. Are you understanding? Yeah. So this is 100 units only we have to take. So now first for this 100 unit, what is the cost? First we have to take, because as per AS2 I have to value at cost. At cost only. Even if I would have sent at invoice price, that invoice price will be reversed in the name of loading of stock reserve. In the name of stock reserve. Therefore, it has to be valued at cost only. Now here. Now first is value of goods. So here, imagine here consignee has incurred direct expenses. That is in order to bring the transport, insurance, etc. For here direct expenses of consignee. Let us make some 600 rupees. 600 rupees. Now, so value of goods sent. Value of goods sent. So in this problem, I have sent at cost. Therefore, I am valuing at cost. At cost. If I would have sent at invoice price, I would have valued at invoice price. Are you understanding? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
therefore, how many units in stock?
It's 1,000 cents, sir.
1000. Uh-huh.
Cent is 1,000, sir.
How many units in stock? I asked.
100.
Valuation of closing stock. That means only closing stock units I have to value, not cent. Yeah, 100
Yes.
units. So what is the cent price per unit? 5 rupee.
5.
5 per unit. Therefore, what is the stock at cent price? 500.
500.
Correct? Next, add. So proportionate direct expenses of consignor. Got it? So what is the consignor expenses? 800. 800 rupees he has
Yes, sir.
incurred for how many units?
1,000 units.
1000 unit. He has incurred for 1000 units into how many units I am valuing for stock? I want stock only.
100.
Therefore, this is what we call it as proportionate. 800 rupees is for 1000 means how much for 100? That is the number of units in stock or loss, whatever it might be. For how many units you are taking proportionate. So that's what we call it as proportionate direct expense. So can you give me what is the price?
80.
80. Like this, add proportionate direct expense of consignee. Proportionate direct expenses of consignee. Proportionate direct expense of consignee.
63.15.
Yeah, so wait, let me come back. Yeah, so here proportionate direct expenses of consignee, he has incurred 600 rupees. For how many units?
Yes. 950.
No, only 950. This is the key. Consignor has incurred for 1000 unit. Consignor has incurred only for the units he has taken delivery. Only 950. Out of that, 100 units in stock. Yes or no? Yeah. So therefore, can you give me what is the price?
63.15.
Just 3.15. Yeah?
63.15.
63. I will for rounded off 63 rupees. I will write. So therefore, what is the value of stock? Value of stock is 643 rupees. Yes or no? This is cost.
Yes.
Correct? Now imagine out of this cost, that is a direct expenses, out of this, is there any profit? Is there any profit element?
No, sir.
No, because out
No,
of
sir.
whatever cost is incurred, that has been spread over. Therefore, in this, there is no profit at all. There is no profit element. Correct? But here, if it is sent at cost, here no profit. Suppose if it is invoice price, means if it is IP, imagine cost is 500. Invoice price means here there may be two aspect. Invoice price means two aspect. So cost plus profit. So here cost already we have calculated 500. Imagine if it's a profit is 200 rupees is a profit. That means this price would have been 700 or not.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
So now that means if this is a total, instead of 500, if you take 700 at invoice price, because at cent price I supposed to take. Yes or no? If it is a cost means I would have taken at cost. Therefore, in that profit element is not there. Therefore, out of this 643, nothing to reverse. Nothing to reverse. Suppose if this profit, if I would have included in an invoice price, this profit would have been included here, 200 rupees. That means instead of 643, it would have been 843 is the value of stock at cent price. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct? Now tell me, out of this three element, on which element profit element is there?
Value of goods sent, sir.
Correct? Value of goods sent. That means how much is profit is there? That is only on this element. Out of this 700, 200 is profit is there. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, next suppose if stock reserve, if you are calculating, means this is only on this element or not? Stock reserve means loading. Correct? So only on this element you have to calculate. So that element, based on that, if you get what is 200 rupees is a loading, there is a profit. If it is there, that you have to reverse in the name called stock reserve. That is in a consignment account or in a trading account. Just imagine credit size closing stock. I will write 843. That is at invoice price. Immediately debit side I will write stock reserve 200. So net is how much? 643 only. Are you understanding the story? Are you understanding the story?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
If it is wherever loading is there, wherever if it is invoice price is there, immediately I have to reverse that loading. Correct? If loading is not there, what I do, instead of 843, I will write only 643 only. No loading reversal. No loading reversal. Are you understanding? At cost only. Got it? Slowly?
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if now we lost 50 units, no, sir, that one we
as
won't
of
do
now,
any
as
consideration.
of now, I haven't discussed about lost. That is what our second part of discussion, valuation of abnormal loss. Yeah. So first part, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. So here note already we have taken, that is sufficient. This is not. Come to second part. Come to second part, abnormal loss. Come to second part, abnormal loss. Whenever you touch the stock, my dear friends, this three element has to come. That is mandatory. One is value of goods. Value of goods, whether it's in stock or loss, whatever it might be. What is the value of goods or value of that goods at cent price? If it's sent at cost, means at cost. If it's invoice price, means at invoice price. But whenever invoice price is there, immediately you have to reverse the loading. That is a key. So then for that you have to add a proportionate direct expense of consignor and a proportionate direct expense of consignee. Yeah, come. Abnormal loss of stock, under that drop an arrow, computation. Under that, computation. Under that, computation. Yeah, so first again, same computation here, same. But here, so write down. Value of goods lost at cent price. Value of goods lost at cent price. Cent price within bracket, drop an arrow within bracket, write down cost or invoice price. Cost or invoice price. Cost or invoice price. Only if it is invoice price, loading has to be reversed, my dear friends. Cost means nothing to worry. So whatever the value of goods lost at cost, as it is cost we have to take, because we have to value at cost only. Only if invoice price is there, loading element has to be reversed. That's the key. Next, add proportionate direct expense of consignor. Add proportionate direct expenses of consignor and proportionate direct expense of consignor XXX. Next, add proportionate direct expenses of consignee. Proportionate direct expenses of consignee. Proportionate direct expenses of consignee. Proportionate expenses of consignee. So next, subtotal value of abnormal loss at cent price. Value of abnormal loss at cent price. Value of abnormal loss at cent price. So now, my dear friends, suppose here if a cent price is at invoice price, yeah. So under that invoice price, whatever you have written there, so place the asterisk mark. Value of goods at invoice price here. Invoice price, place that asterisk mark. So connect here. Look out. If it is invoice price, suppose here 100 rupees the cost, and if invoice price is 50 rupees is a margin, you would have recorded this at cent price is 150. But out of that, this 50 rupees is loading. Now, will insurance company give the profit? Compensation for profit? Will insurance company give the
If it is
compensation for profit?
no,
No.
sir.
So they will give only to the extent of cost. Correct? So moreover, look out. Whenever goods are sent at invoice price, immediately loading would have been reversed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that means even in my books, my stock is reflecting at cost only. No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, why we have to send it invoice price? When we go for journal entry, I will explain, my dear friends. For a time being, just imagine, I will send it invoice price, immediately loading has to be reversed. That means in my book, it will reflect, the stock will reflect at cost only. No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose if consignee said, for consignee, he knows only invoice price, what I have sent. So he will say only in the invoice value, he will say this is the value of goods lost. That means 150 rupees worth of goods lost since based on invoice price, he will say. But I know that already that 50 rupees is a loading, which I already reversed. So therefore now, in order to value true cost, I have to reverse that loading or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Always, moreover, insurance company give compensation only for cost only, not for loading. Since already complete loading has been reversed in my book, now here loading has to be reversed, otherwise I will not get the true value. Therefore, next line, less loading within bracket profit. Less loading within bracket profit. So XXX. So if you, after removing of loading, the balance what you have is value of goods lost at cost. 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 So under that note, note 1, loading is ignored, hyphen no entry. Loading is ignored, hyphen no entry. Within bracket, since complete loading has been already reversed. Since complete loading has been already reversed in book. Yeah, note 2. Note 2. Note 2. insurance company will compensate. Note 2. Insurance company will compensate only for cost of goods lost. Cost of goods lost and not for profit. And not for profit.
Yay! कवर खाने के देखो उसमें से फाड़ फाड़
Yeah. Yes, so that's it. So whenever you touch, my dear friends, look out. So, but for this, my dear friends, for this abnormal loss, you have to think this formula is correct. Formula is correct, my dear friend. Formula is correct. But only thing was you have to check out in which place the goods are lost. Now, those who are online, so can you respond? Closing stock means in which place it will be there?
Consignee.
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 Therefore, consignor, whatever he has incurred to purchase the goods, that is what cost of goods and that it might be taken. Plus, since it has been reached to consignee and consignor also would have been incurred direct expenses, consignee also would have been incurred. I'm saying he might have incurred. If not, means ignore. Yeah. If he incurred direct expenses, that also will come in calculation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, but imagine in case of abnormal loss, the loss can occur either in transit, that is this place. Correct? That is before reaching the consignee, here 50 units has been lost. Correct? Or after reaching to consignee, here either in transit it might have lost, or even in a godown also some goods might have lost or not.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Therefore, if before reaching the consignee, if the goods are lost, means can consignee's direct expense will come?
No.
No. Correct? Only if goods are reached to consignee end, and there if the goods are lost, then only along with consignor expenses, consignee expense also to be added. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the key. These things you have to understand in abnormal loss. That is, in which place it has been lost. If it is lost before reaching the consignee, means only consignor direct expense will come. If goods are received, if the goods are already reached to consignee, and from there, suppose after reaching consignee, if the goods are lost, then consignee also would have been incurred direct expenses. Therefore, this also will come for calculation. Correct? So now, sir, why we have to include this calculation of closing stock, etc., etc.? This and all. Student has a doubt or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, have you come across periodicity concept and matching concept?
Yes.
Yeah. What is periodicity concept?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
What is periodicity concept? Anyone?
The entire lifetime of the business is divided into equal intervals for the purpose of evaluation and convenience.
Hmm.
So, yes, sir. Each period is known as an
called
accounting period.
Then what is matching concept?
So the revenues.
The revenue of that year has to be matched along with its expenditure, corresponding expenditure. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now imagine this is your trading P&L. Now imagine, so cost purchases here what we call it as goods sent. So purchases is 100. Now here 100 rupee purchases is 100 and you have incurred expenses. You have incurred direct expenses, I am saying, not indirect. Direct expenses of consignor and direct expenses of consignee. Correct? Now, indirect expenses anyway we have to book in P&L. So that is for total. So that is not the matter. Only direct expense what I am saying. So imagine here 20 rupees is a direct expense of consignor and 40 rupees is the direct expenses of consignee, or make other way 40 and 20. 40 and 20. Now imagine here, out of this 100 rupee worth of goods, he has sold, let us make 60 rupees worth of goods has been sold. Cost is 60 rupee. On that, profit what he made was 50 rupee. So that means what is the sale price?
110.
Yeah, 110. So that means this is 110. If I write this side, this 50 rupees has to reflect, unless otherwise reflect, it should be in GP 50 rupee. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that means this profit is only for the 60% of the goods sold. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means corresponding expenditure also what I have to book, this is also for 60% or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
So that means if the sale is 60%, means for that 60% what is the expenditure, if I book, then only my clear profit, what is my correct profit I can find. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but here look out, this expenditures what you have booked is for 100% of the goods or not?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, I am reversing in the name of closing stock. Now look out here, if you write closing stock, if you write 40, then only this 50 rupees can be GP. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is out of this 100 and this 40. That means out of this expenditure, out of this 60, that also you have to take 60% for this and 40% for this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so that's why what I have did for this closing stock, what is proportionate expenditure, what we have taken in order to find the correct profit. So cost of goods sent 40 rupees, cost of closing stock, cost of goods sent 40 rupees, add proportionate expenses of direct consignor, it is 40 divided by
Sir.
100 into 40 into 40% or 40 rupee. So you will get how much?
16, sir.
16. 16.
Yes,
So then add proportionate direct expense of consignee. Only direct expense of consignee, it is 20 divided by 100 into 40. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So which
Yes.
amounts to 8?
8 rupees.
8.
Yes.
So therefore,
8
what is the
rupees.
value of closing stock?
50, sir.
60.
How much? 56. So now
56.
out of 60 total expenditure into 40%, how much? 60 into 40%.
24, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, this 24 rupees I will
24.
add, and instead of closing stock, instead of 40, I will take 56. So that what happened? Corresponding expenditure, since it has been not sold, it has this period expenditure has been postponed to next or not. Correct? So that means for
Yes.
whatever goods I sold, only for that profit has been computed. For unsold goods, that whatever cost is incurred, since this is not for current period, because whenever I sell that goods, that time I will recognize the profit. So therefore, here it is mandatory that proportionate expenses, direct expenses of consignee and consignor has to be added to the cost of goods. Are you understanding slowly now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So this is the key for this valuation. This is the key. Yeah. So that's all. So whenever you send the goods, I have to reverse it. Whenever you send the goods at invoice price, who's that background here? Who's that? Whose background? Yeah. So whenever goods are sent at invoice price, loading has to be reversed. Whenever goods are sent at invoice price, loading has to be reversed. So reason, it has to be stock of goods has to be valued at invoice price. Sorry, cost. It has to be valued at invoice, valued at stock. Yeah. So if you would have copied, I'm really happy. So balance things, we will take care in problems. These are special transactions. So completely these 3 hours we have taken for these 3 concepts exhaustively, because this is your key and core area for consignment. So tomorrow, when we give the journal entries, automatically it will be there. And this conceptual clarity, if you have tomorrow, with the help of journal entry, we can start the problems. So tomorrow I'll give the journal entries. So tomorrow, my dear friends, class is 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 to 9:45 or 9:30, 2 hours. 7:30 to maximum. So because of delay, this 7:45 let us start. So 7:45 to 9:45, that 2 hours class will be there. So then 10:30 again. So 45 minutes break for lunch. So 10:30 class will start. 10:30 to 12:30. 10:30 to 12:30. Is it fine? So tomorrow schedule is 7:30 class will start as per schedule. So might be 5-10 minutes because of joining this and all. So let us keep it as 7:45. So normally 7:30, keep it mind. 7:30 to 12:30 is your class. In between, how many times should I repeat here? Same concept, 3 hours I have explained. Again, I have to repeat. Repeat means how many times I should repeat. Yeah. So tomorrow class timing is, so you have copied the note in a way, with the help of problem you will understand in a detail. So tomorrow morning 7:30 class will start, 7:30 to 12:30. That's it. Bye.